The story of Rolls-Royce begins with Henry Royce, who was born into a poor family in England in 1863. After his father passed away when he was young, he was forced to drop out of school to help support his family. He worked various jobs, including delivering newspapers and telegrams, before securing an apprenticeship at a railway workshop at age 14 with financial help from his aunt. During his apprenticeship, Henry dedicated his free time to studying subjects like carpentry, mathematics, and electronics. This commitment helped him land a job as a mechanic in London and later as an engineer in Liverpool. By the age of 21, after facing a business crash when his company went bankrupt, he decided to start his own venture alongside a friend with a small sum of saved money. They founded F.H. Royce and Company, initially manufacturing household electrical items such as sewing machines and electric fittings, before expanding into larger products like arc lamps, bulb holders, and electronic doorbells. Although the business initially flourished and generated significant profits, it eventually faced a severe downturn when competing companies introduced cheaper alternatives from abroad. The stress took a heavy toll on Henry's health, leading to a breakdown. On the advice of his doctor, he took a step back and bought a second-hand Decauville car to enjoy traveling. However, the vehicle's poor performance and constant mechanical issues frustrated him. Driven by his engineering background, he completely redesigned the car, creating a significantly improved prototype that caught the attention of early automobile enthusiasts. In April 1904, Henry Royce took his newly modified car on a historic 50-kilometer journey to meet Charles Rolls, a wealthy aristocrat who owned an automobile showroom in London. Charles was deeply impressed by the vehicle's exceptionally smooth, quiet ride and its reliability, which set it apart from other cars of the era. Recognizing Henry's engineering genius and matching it with his own marketing acumen and financial backing, Charles proposed a partnership. The two men shook hands, bringing together their distinct backgrounds to establish a unified legacy, and officially founded the iconic brand known today as Rolls-Royce. To show the reliability of their cars to the world, they built 4 different models of cars. These cars had engines of 10 horsepower, 15 horsepower, 20 horsepower, and 30 horsepower. To promote these cars, Claude Johnson used aggressive marketing strategies. He entered these cars into various racing competitions, including the famous Isle of Man Tourist Trophy. In 1906, Rolls-Royce won this race, which brought them massive publicity. But even after this, Henry Royce wanted to make an even better and higher-performing car. One day, while working, a masterstroke idea came to his mind. He decided that instead of making multiple models, they would focus entirely on making just one single car, but it would be the best car in the world. With this vision, in 1906, they launched a car that completely changed the luxury car market forever. It was a 40/50 horsepower car powered by a 6-cylinder engine. Initially, it was painted in a striking silver color, which is why it was named the Silver Ghost. The Silver Ghost was so exceptionally smooth and quiet that if you stood next to it while it was running, you couldn't even tell if the engine was turned on. To prove this smoothness to people, a unique test was done where a coin was placed vertically on the car's engine radiator. Even when the engine was started and revved, the coin did not fall. This incredible refinement amazed people, and soon, the Silver Ghost was widely recognized as the best car in the world. It became a major status symbol among kings, emperors, and high society elites. Following this massive success, Rolls-Royce pulled off another masterstroke in 1910. Charles Rolls realized that the future belonged to aviation. He was deeply passionate about flying, and on July 12, 1910, he was flying a Wright Flyer airplane at a public event. But unfortunately, during the flight, the airplane's tailpiece suddenly broke, causing a horrific crash. Charles Rolls died on the spot. He was only 32 years old, making him the first Briton to die in an aviation accident. The sudden death of Charles Rolls deeply shocked Henry Royce. This loss, combined with his continuous non-stop work, severely affected Royce's health. In 1911, he became so critically ill that he was completely bedridden. When he was examined by doctors, they delivered a devastating diagnosis. He had bowel cancer. The doctors told him that he had only 3 months left to live. But Royce refused to give up. He decided that he would not stop his design and engineering work. Even while confined to his bed, he kept creating new designs. Miraculously, against all medical odds, Henry Royce achieved a 100% recovery from cancer. However, because his health remained fragile, his doctors strictly advised him not to visit the factory anymore. So a brilliant solution was found. Royce began working from his home, where he focused purely on the engineering, chassis, and suspension design, while other engineers managed the factory production. Even from home, Royce maintained absolute control over perfection. He introduced personalized mascots for the cars. By modifying it, it was converted into an armored car. An 8mm thick armor was installed on the car's body. A revolving turret was also fitted, which housed a machine gun. Like this car was used to conduct operations in the harsh desert regions of the Middle East. Additionally, it was also utilized for spying missions. Furthermore, since the Silver Ghost was quite smooth to drive, it was also the best vehicle for carrying a wounded soldier. That is why many Silver Ghosts were modified into war ambulances. Sufficient space was created in these to accommodate stretchers, medical equipment, and nurses. Electric lightings were also fitted for nighttime missions. These ambulances saved thousands of lives. Finally, due to their luxury features during the war, Rolls-Royce cars were also used by high-ranking officers for diplomatic missions and by king messengers. While working closely with the military, Rolls-Royce realized that the British Air Force was heavily dependent on French companies for their airplane engines, and the government desperately wanted a British company to supply them with engines. Seeing this opportunity, Rolls-Royce entered into aero engine manufacturing. Royce learned aero engine design himself, and in 1915, launched his first engine, the Eagle. This engine was more reliable, lightweight, and fuel-efficient compared to the competition. Therefore, the British Air Force placed an order for 500 Eagle engines by the end of the year. But Royce did not stop here. At the end of 1915, he made the Hawk engine for light aircraft. In 1916, he created a smaller version of the Eagle, the Falcon engine, and in 1918, he developed the Condor engine for large and long-range aircraft. Because of these engines, Britain gained a major advantage in aerial combat, spying missions, anti-submarine operations, and bombing missions. And this became an important reason for their victory. Rolls-Royce's entry into aero engine manufacturing proved to be a brilliant step. And even today, Rolls-Royce engines are used in thousands of commercial aircraft and military aircraft. In 1918, World War I ended. For the next 15 years, Royce focused on both cars and aero engines. He launched a smaller and cheaper car named the 20. Unfortunately, the sales of the 20 were not very impressive. By 1925, competition in the luxury car market had increased significantly due to brands like Bentley, Daimler, and Cadillac. Rolls-Royce needed a bold car to maintain its position. Therefore, replacing the Silver Ghost, they launched the new Phantom with better performance and four-wheel brakes. The Phantom was quite successful and once again made Rolls-Royce the king of the luxury car market. Later on, the Phantom 2 was also launched, which was equally well received. In 1931, Rolls-Royce acquired Bentley, which was on the verge of bankruptcy. Following this, Royce designed another iconic car, the Bentley 3.5 liters, which was a successful blend of these two great brands, Rolls-Royce and Bentley. But unfortunately, Royce could never see this car with his own eyes. On April 22, 1933, at the age of 70, Sir Henry Royce took his last breath, just a few months before the car's production. From the death of Sir Henry Royce until today, Rolls-Royce has seen many ups and downs. On one hand, it launched iconic cars like the Phantom 3, Silver Shadow, and Silver Ghost, while on the other hand, it faced financial difficulties in the 1960s, leading to the separation of its aviation and automobile businesses. Currently, BMW owns Rolls-Royce motor cars, but even today, Rolls-Royce remains the greatest symbol of ultimate luxury because of its iconic cars.